It seems like growing up with rich, famous parents would be a dream come true, but rich kids have to follow rules just like all other children. They're just a little bit different. Today we're talking about the strictest and strangest rules celebrity kids have to follow. Before we get started, make sure you follow the taco by hitting the subscribe button for more videos.
Do you want to be a DIY expert? Check out our friends at Crafty Hackers. They have the best hacks, crafts, and everything DIY. Watch their videos for the best household tricks, DIY decor, and fun recipes. If you love making crafts with your friends or just trying new things, they have everything you're looking for. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any awesome hacks and crafts.
Now, let's begin. Madonna. When it comes to her career, it seems as if there are no boundaries that Madonna won't push. But when she's off stage and in parenting mode, she has some surprisingly strict rules for her children. Her kids are not allowed to watch television, as she's deemed all television shows trash. They can, however, watch movies. Reading newspapers and magazines are two things that Madonna's children aren't allowed to read in the home. Leaving dirty clothes on the floor is a huge no-no. And Madonna has a very severe system in place if her kids slip up. She collects all of their clothes and makes them do chores in order to earn each piece back. Gwyneth Paltrow. Whenever Gwyneth Paltrow decides to try one of her crazy fads, her kids are dragged along for the ride. Periodically, Paltrow will embark on an extremely strict diet that pretty much bans anything fun. She can't have dairy, eggs, sugar, coffee, meat, or wheat, and that's just the beginning of the banned substances. Even Paltrow admits that when her kids can't eat those things, they're left with a specific hunger. But we suppose that's the price you pay for being a Paltrow. Her strict rules for the kids caused controversy when she and now ex-husband Chris Martin divorced. He escaped Paltrow's strict dieting rules, and she suspected that he was helping the kids to do the same. Barack and Michelle Obama. When it comes to famous kids, few have ever been under as much scrutiny as Malia and Sasha Obama. Unsurprisingly, their parents Barack and Michelle Obama have some pretty strict rules for their two daughters. Even when they were living in the White House, they were still expected to make their beds and clean their room, instead of having staff do it for them. Every day at 6:30, they're expected to gather at the dinner table, an act which Barack has referred to as sacrosanct. They even had limits to screen time, although their parents allowed them to watch shows that they didn't necessarily enjoy themselves. This includes reality shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Victoria and David Beckham. Victoria and David Beckham describe themselves as strict parents, but there is one rule that they just can't get their kids to follow: no sucker in the house. Other than that, they are big believers in raising polite children. Manners are a big deal in their household, and kids are required to say please and thank you in all situations. The kids are expected to adhere to a curfew and show respect at all times. Apparently, it's paying off well, as Victoria and David Beckham claim all of their children are incredibly well behaved. Jessica Alba. When it comes to celebrity parents, Jessica Alba is far more relaxed than most, but she does still have some rules. Her daughter Honor loves to play dress up, but she's only allowed to wear her little high heel shoes inside for now. Alba has publicly stated that she doesn't believe in spanking her children, so she has to find different ways to lay down the law. When her children break one of the rules, they end up in timeout. And not just any timeout, Alba sends them into the least exciting room in the house, the bathroom. Jennifer Lopez. Many of us use the term Sunday Fun Day to justify having an extra mimosa or two at lunch, but in the household of Jennifer Lopez, it has a whole new meaning. Her kids aren't allowed to access media during the week, meaning no iPads or movies. That is what Sunday Fun Day is for, but it doesn't come for free. Throughout the week, the kids need to earn the right to have some much-desired media time. They need to keep their behavior in line and complete all of their schoolwork. And Sunday Fun Day is a great day for mom, too. Lopez revealed that while the kids are engrossed with their iPads, she uses that time to take a well-deserved nap. Megan Fox. Limiting screen time is a pretty popular parental decision, but it's one that Megan Fox takes to the extreme. She believes that any sort of time spent in front of screens is bad for child development. Kind of a strange viewpoint for a movie actress to have. She does sometimes allow them to watch Pixar movies, but only when supervised by her. They're also not allowed to even think about joining social media, since Fox believes it's bad for their self-esteem. Julia Roberts. All parents pick their battles with their kids, and Julia Roberts declared a war zone on treats. Perhaps because she battles with a sweet tooth herself, Roberts is strict with her kids when it comes to snacks. Her kids are only allowed to have sweets on very special occasions or family celebrations. Roberts believes that it helps them appreciate the treats more when they are allowed to indulge a bit. Kourt Kardashian. A lot of parents have certain things that are banned, but perhaps none have quite an extensive list as Kourt Kardashian. Her kids aren't allowed to have food that's been prepared in the microwave, and she refuses to even have one in her home. Plastic food containers are also a no-go. Kourt believes that heating up food in the microwave is harmful, and doubly so if that food is in a plastic container. Oh, and of course when her kids do eat, it's all organic, gluten-free, and dairy-free. Whelchel. Lisa Whelchel used to be on The Facts of Life, but one aspect of her own parenting life came under intense scrutiny. Instead of grounding or using timeout, she uses a technique she calls hot saucing on her kids. It's pretty much what it sounds like. She forces them to ingest spicy food when they misbehave. This stings their mouths, and according to Whelchel, it leaves a lasting lesson in addition to the spicy flavor. Many people were outraged by her statements and claim that this is going too far when it comes to discipline. Christina Aguilera. There are lots of life lessons that we want our kids to learn, and different ways we go about teaching them. But many feel like this lesson taught by Christina Aguilera is a little bit unorthodox. She wants her children to know that there is nothing wrong with nudity or sexuality, so she feels free walking around totally naked in front of her kids. According to Christina, she's an avid art collector, and her children will be exposed to the female form one way or another. Not all moms will approve of this method, but it definitely fits Christina's free-spirited style. Gisele Bündchen. Potty training is an often exhausting part of parenting, but Gisele Bündchen brags that she potty trained her son Benjamin by the time he was 6 months old. She used a method that sounds pretty unorthodox in addition to being potentially messy. It's called elimination communication, and it involves lugging your kid around with no clothes on. You learn to recognize when they need to go and then hold them over the toilet. She may love the method, but it sounds a bit more like training mom and dad instead of training the baby. But if you have time to dangle your baby in the bathroom all day, more power to you. Mayim Bialik. Many people practice a parenting style known as attachment parenting, but few take it as far as Mayim Bialik. Despite being able to easily afford them, she refuses to hire nannies or babysitters to watch her children, even just for one evening. Bialik claims that it's the best decision for her children, and nothing is more important than being with them as much as possible. That may be true, but she also admits that she gets very little sleep and has little social life as a result. Being a doting parent is one thing, but this sounds like a great way to burn out. Alicia Silverstone. If you're a parent, you know the challenge of getting your kid to eat their meals. Actress Alicia Silverstone has a surefire way to make sure her son Bear eats, but it just might turn your stomach. She chews up some food and then transfers it straight from her mouth to her son's. Silverstone says that he would even grab at her mouth when he was hungry for a bite to eat. When photos emerged of this unusual dinner time ritual, many people had strong words to say about this mother-son bonding moment. Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner may be a new mom, but that doesn't mean she doesn't already have a huge list of rules where her daughter Stormi is concerned. But since Stormi is too little to follow rules, these have to do with the people who want to visit. Not only did Kylie stay hidden during her pregnancy, but she's been strict about keeping Stormi inside now that she's born. If you want to have a chance of holding the precious little one, you're going to have to wash your hands and wear a face mask to make sure that you're not spreading any germs. Snooki. When it comes to disciplining her kids, you definitely won't see Snooki feeding her kids peppers or spanking them. She claims that she was spanked as a child and it terrified her, so that's something she would never do to her own kids. But that doesn't mean that she lets herself be walked all over. Her kids know that she doesn't tolerate tantrums, and she'll straight up ignore them until they calm down. According to Snooki, denying them attention until they can behave leads to shorter tantrums and better behaved children. Children must be cool, calm, and collected to be acknowledged by Mama Snooki. Mariah Carey. Many celebs prefer to live a quiet life away from social media, but others live to document every single aspect of their lives, and that includes their children. Mariah Carey definitely falls into the latter category, and her kids know that smiling for the camera is part of what is expected of them. They're required to attend red carpet events and are even featured on her album, The Elusive Chanteuse. Some people have even begun to suspect that the kids are tiring of the fame, but Mariah hasn't commented on these accusations. H Macy. One controversial parenting technique is bribing your kids to get them to behave. Even the strictest parents have made exceptions to this rule for special occasions, but H Macy says that it's part of his parenting techniques. But don't pick up the pitchforks quite yet. The prize that he bribes his children with is reading. When he needs them to brush their teeth, he reminds them that the faster they get ready for bed, the more reading time they'll have. And video games and television have to wait until the daily reading is out of the way. Which one of these strict parenting rules do you think goes too far? Tell us in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to The Taco. Bye for now.